Hi, I'm Becky Johnson with Sweetheart Quilt Design Company. And last time we got together, I showed you how to make these nifty little squares from two 10-inch blocks. So some people said it was hard to see it because there wasn't enough contrast. And the pieces I used for the demo had less contrast than this. So I'm going to go ahead and show it to you. This time I have white square and navy blue, so I think we'll have good contrast on this. I also have something I need to show you if you're not using blocks with this pinked edge. So these came out of a layer cake and they have a pinked edge, so you always know what's on the outside, and that's important. But if you cut your own squares like I did here, there's no pinked edge, so we need to mark those. And at the end of the video, I'm also going to show you a quilt top that I made using this method with a layer cake. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is draw a line through the center, and then we're going to do it going the opposite direction. Okay, then we're going to stitch our scant 1/4 inch on either side of the line. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and cut this on both lines. So we're going to cut on this line, and then we're going to cut on this line. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put pins in on the outside edges. So this is the edge, and actually I'm going to need them. I think that's the edge I'm going to need. So I'm just going to be on the safe side and put it on both. All right. All right, so now we're going to get these pressed. We're going to press them toward the dark. I like to set the seam to make the fabric easier to work with, more pliable. That's just kind of warms up the fibers. Now we're going to put this back together, and we're going to make sure that we get those pins on the outside. All right. There, see? I almost did it wrong. Okay. My pins are on the outside, so I'm going to go ahead and stitch this together. All right, so then we want to spin the center so that it lays nice and flat. So what we're going to need to do this time is press toward the dark, the light, excuse me, spoke wrong. Okay. And then with this in the center, that time, sometimes you have to pop a little stitch, but that time it just came apart real easily for me. All right. And then this one, we're going to press toward the light, press toward the light, and that one popped right open too. All right. Now, we want to make sure that we set this so that we have the left one with the dark square on the left upper and the right one with the dark square on the right upper. Okay, then we're going to, I probably don't need those pins anymore, but I'm not 100% positive. So I'm going to leave them in. Okay, we're going to cut 1.25 inches on either side. All right, so we got our first one, and then we're going to get our second one here. This pen, so I'm not trying to cut through it. It's not good on a rotary blade. Okay, 1.25 inches, and then we'll spin our mat and do 1.25 inches on the other side. All right, now we can swap out our centers, and everything's gonna nest. Yay! Okay, and then gonna nest our center and line it up. Okay, now we're going to iron one of these, both the seams going in and the other one going out, so that when we cut them and put them back together, the seams will nest. So this one's going in. which is just a little trickier. But not impossible. All right. Yeah, I think I'm probably okay without those pens now. All right, so we're going to cut 1 1/4 inch again. And we'll pull these out of the way. All right, we'll swap out our centers again and sew them together. I'm just stopping each time to make sure I have those seams nested. All right. It could have been a problem because I did take those pins out. If I had grabbed this way, no, it still would have worked. No, it wouldn't have. See, they wouldn't nest. My seams would be stacked instead of nesting. So it's really important through the whole project that you know where the outside of the squares are. That you keep the outside on the outside where it started. Okay, and there we go. Now on these last two seams, it doesn't matter which way you press them unless you're planning on sewing multiple blocks together. And then if you're doing that, what you want to do is, so these go in, so I would want these to go out. And I just, by stroke of luck, those went in and I made those go out. Wow, I really got some stuff messed up. Okay, so these are going to go out. And that way you've got, on the block, you've got half the seams out and half of them in. So if you wanted to sew them together, you see how these both go out, so they'd be stacked. But if you turn it, then these would be nested. The center would still be stacked, but yeah. But these would be nested. Okay? But you can also put sashing in between, and that's what I did. You need to be careful as you're sewing it on the second piece of sashing that you're going straight across. And we do have a video of a hint on how to do that well. So this quilt I made with a layer cake. And again, there's not a ton of contrast, but you can see, you know, the greens and florals, and it had a bunch of plaid pieces in it. So it was really fun. I have some borders I'm going to put around the outside that will bring out the colors more. All right, so have fun with that. Thanks a bunch.